Hey, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to talk about one of the types of the IELTS Task 2 essays in writing, obviously, and this particular type is the problem and solution essay. So when I was preparing for IELTS, this type of essay was one of the probably most favorite ones of mine, because I liked how I could think of different problems and of different ways of tackling them, and it's quite a challenging task, and it's interesting to challenge your brain and expand your ideas and use your outlook, which I always appreciate. So I hope you also like this type of essay. Today we will be talking about first keywords that you will be using to identify that this is the problem and solution essay task you are reading right now, because it can be confusing from time to time. Second, we will be talking about the structure, most effective structure that I used and that a lot of other people use for such kind of essays. Third, we will be talking about most widespread mistakes that students make, so that you will be equipped and you will not make them in the future. And finally, I will give you a model answer to such essay, and I will also suggest you one great way to start improving your essays. Okay, let's get rolling. So before starting to write an essay, you must read the task, obviously, and reading the task helps you to identify what kind of essay you will be writing next. So be prepared that there is not always the exact word that will tell you what type of essay it is. And the same goes with problem and solution essays. So be prepared that you probably will not see words like problems and solutions, but instead you may be seeing another words like synonyms or close words in the meaning. So let's review a couple of such tasks that might cause confusion. Overpopulation of urban areas has led to numerous problems. Identify one or two of the most serious ones and suggest ways in which governments can tackle them. In the developed world, average life expectancy is increasing. Identify what problems that may cause to the society and propose a couple of measures that could be taken to reduce negative impact. So basically these were a couple of titles that might not be that straightforward, and they do not necessarily use those problem and solution words, but they still do use keywords that you must know, and then you must act upon them, basically. So what is the effective structure that students may use to write very nice problems and solutions essays? So let's see, in the description box, as always, I have linked a file with a model answer that you might right now have in front of you to check. And it is proposed to dedicate the first paragraph to introduction, obviously. And in the first sentence you will have your paraphrase task, as always. Then, in the second sentence, you will have an outline sentence where you are talking about what you will review in the essay. Again, check with the model answer how they do it there. Then, in the second paragraph, you will have your problems. So here, you might write only about one problem in your whole essay, or you might identify a couple of them, maybe 3 or 4, I don't know, but make sure you're staying in the limits. You will describe them and give examples. Then the third paragraph is naturally dedicated to solutions. Again, you will be describing them and giving examples. And the last paragraph obviously is for conclusion, where you will conclude the problems and solutions that you have presented, and also give a forecast or maybe a recommendation for the future, which is amazing actually, and you can use that tip in every type basically of task 2 essays for writing, because it concludes perfectly everything that you have written. Great. Now let's move on. And here, when you ask yourself, how can I improve my writing more? What can I do further to increase the speed of my writing, the structure that I'm using, the words, the vocabulary? You see, practice alone is not enough, because it is impossible to increase your level and to improve yourself without referring to the correct answer. Well, I don't trust those random Band 9 essays on the internet, because I've seen so many of them with mistakes and very ambiguous structure. And what I suggest here is having a personal tutor who can help you to shape your essays and correct them and give you model answers. But if you do not have time or money to hire a private tutor, you can use professional writing services. Like, for instance, one of writing services that I personally recommend is Custom Writings. This is a service with very professional and reliable people who can help you to write basically anything you need. It can be an essay, a report, a thesis, or even a speech, a paper, like basically everything you can think of. There is no plagiarism in their work, and there are only professional writers who execute the orders. I also know that they provide the fastest service out there, so if your exam is right around the corner, you should definitely check them out. Well, basically, with Custom Writings, it's the professional writing service on your fingertips, which is amazing. And as always, I will link them in the description box down below, so you can go and have a look. That's it. Thank you so much for being here with me. I will be very happy if you decide to leave a like for me or even subscribe. And as always, I will be delighted to see you again here. Ciao!